It's so elegant because here's what happens. If this is the open and this is the close, okay? Some people, you're going to hit their combination earlier and they'll close here. Other people, you're going to hit it later with another language pattern and they'll close here. But either way, you're always moving down the line. If you move all the way down the line, either two things, either they buy or they don't buy, right? But what happens is this. You've ran every possible combination to pick the lock. You close everyone who's closable. And why didn't they buy? Remember what I said in the beginning? No matter how good you are, not everybody's a buyer. That's it. It's as simple as that. But by using the straight line, you're going to know every time you pick up the phone, I got it. Either he buys from me or he would never buy from anybody. That's a good place to be in when you pick up the phone. Not like, I hope I can figure out what to say with this guy. Well, hope he doesn't give me that one objection I hate about his mother. Hope he doesn't bring up his wife. Ooh, the wife. I hate the wife objection. That's the worst one. Oh, let me think about it. It's just around the corner. Okay? Here's what I say. Okay? Tell me that you don't like my product, and I'll argue with you to the death about it. I'll argue, logically, I'll argue with you to the death about my product. I know I'm right. Right? Tell me you don't like me, and I'll try to convince you to like me and say, what did I do wrong? I'll figure it out. We'll have a talk about that. Tell me you don't like my company, I'll defend my company and resell you on my company, try to make you see the way. Tell me all those stuff and I will respect you. Just don't tell me you want to think about it, because that's crap. That's the one that's crap. Don't just tell me, I don't know, let me think about it. That's what I don't respect. Now, people say it all the time, yeah, great. You can say, I don't respect you. How dare you? No, you don't say that. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, if someone just says to you, listen, I don't like your product, I respect the fact that you didn't buy. I get it. I respect that. I can respect that. Okay? Or, listen, honestly, you're not my cup of tea. Whatever it is, fine, I learned from my mistakes, right? But if they just say, I don't know, let me think, well, that doesn't say anything. What it means, okay, is very simply this. You have not, A, made an airtight logical case to buy now. You have not made an emotional case to buy now. It's either one of those two, or you have not cracked through a belief about buying. That's what it is. And what's happening is very simple. Visually, the scales. If they're saying, let me think about it, what does it mean? The negatives are heavier than the positives. They've played the movie out. They said that if they take action right now, there will be more pain than pleasure, so they don't buy. It's as simple as that. You move someone down the line and you're knocking off negatives. And as you do, the scale gets lighter. You're adding on positives. And all of a sudden you crack a belief and the gravity changes and whoop, and it's over. And the scale pops up. So don't tell me, like, I just want, what's holding you back? Tell me, honestly, I'll respect it. Just don't tell me I gotta, And by the way, some people have to speak to their wife. Some people do. Some people do, but most don't. When someone tells you they want to speak to their wife or their husband, what they're saying is, I'm not 100% sure this is right, and I don't want to be thought a fool. We'll be slapped around or be made fun of for doing something stupid. Because let me tell you something, if they just imagine this, okay? Ladies, if you, just in the crowd, okay? Let's just say that your husband did something with a deal, he usually doesn't do stuff on his own. He went out and bought something, okay? And it turned out that it was actually unbelievably effective and you loved it and it was great, amazing, and it changed your lives. It was great. Would you really be pissed at him if it was just ended up being so amazing? Maybe you'd be a little bit and say, oh, you shouldn't have done that. In the end, it'll work out okay. Yes or no? It would, right? You're all nodding your head, okay? If he came home, if he did that and bought something bad and ended up wasting your money, you'd be, you fool. You'd be berating the guy. When a guy says, let me speak to my wife, what he's saying is, I'm not 100% sure that this is right, that this is 100% guaranteed. Because if it was 100% guaranteed, and I don't say this in a vacuum, remember, nothing's in a vacuum. There are, some people have relationships where they have to speak to their spouse. We'll go through that tomorrow, how to handle that and get the spouse on the line, get the spouse invested in the process too. We'll get to that. But I'm telling you that 75 or 80% of the time, they don't. They're just not convinced. It's a smokescreen. It's a stall. That's what it is. It means that you haven't knocked out a belief. Well, mostly, you haven't created a logical case about why they should buy. They don't think your product is absolutely unbelievable. There's still something in their head that's saying, I don't know, let me think about it. Maybe I have to research more. Watch this, okay? I want to show you something. The 3 10s they're called. Write this down, the 3 10s. Your product, your company, and you. Right? You need to get them up to a 10, to a 10, and to a 10. All 3. When I say 10, there's 3 words you have to add on to that. 10 in the moment. 10 in the moment. I get you to a 10, I run a pattern, a language pattern, and I say to you, about your product. And I'm done with it, and it's a great pattern. It's like so compelling that if I say to you, you see what I'm saying? You like it? You're like, oh yeah, no, I see it. Loan mods are oh my God, credit or pay, yeah, it's great. And I get them to that point, like, oh my God, yeah. If I say to someone, yeah, does the idea make sense to you? They say, yeah. Is that good enough? No. The biggest problem, salesman mistakes, say, well, listen, do you like the program? And someone say, yeah, it's a good program. And they try to move forward and close. No. Unless that person admits to you, logically, not based on hype, you lay out an airtight, logical case, and the person agrees, oh my God, yeah, I see, this is great. Yes, this is a great product. It fills my needs. You cannot move forward on the line unless that's established. You can't just blow past and say, well, he kind of likes, let me try to close him on something else. You can't pick the lock. The first tumbler, you don't start from the last number first. It's the first tumbler is logic, that he loves your product. He can't just kind of like it. He's got to love it. So you get someone to a 10, you run a pattern. He says, oh my God, no, it's great. Yeah, I love it. And let's say he's at a 9.5 or close to a 10. So now you move on to your next pattern, which is going to be about you, selling yourself, right? And you start doing that. Where is he on the product? He's like, his belief is every second, his belief starts to wane. So what happens is when you run a pattern on somebody, you get into a 10, it's in the moment, in the second, and the second later, they start to go down. Buyer's remorse. They lose belief in what you're saying. That's how humans are. Take this for granted. No problem. You just know that before I close, I gotta do one last notch up back to a 10. You get that? So you get into a 10 in the moment with a pattern. You move forward. You get into a 10 for you. You get into a 10 for your company. All 3 things have been established. Before you ask for the order, it's got to be reinforce, reinforce, ask for the order. Reinforce, reinforce, ask for the order. You bring them up to a 10 again in the moment, a 10 again in the moment, bam. You let all 3 line up, and you ask for the order. Calmly, not like ask for the order, it's ask for the order. Calmly and elegantly, with compassion and a tone that says that you care. That's a pattern, a closing pattern. Now, usually they don't close in the first pattern, but what's happening is a box is forming. It's a logic box and an emotion box. And what happens is they start saying, well, wow, too bad. I really wish I wasn't told when I was 5 that not to buy from salesmen. I'd love to buy from this one. He's sharp as a tack, enthusiastic. He seems so honest. He's trustworthy. Wow, what a great product he has. Too bad I can't buy. I want to be thought of as being fool. That's a belief holding. He's not saying that, but trust me, it's happening at a deep unconscious level, or else he'd be buying. Think about it. Why, if someone says they love your product, they love and trust you, they love and trust your company, and they're still not buying it, why? Something's holding them back. It's either money or a belief. And talking to a wife is a belief. They have a belief in their heart. They need to talk to someone else to say yes. It's a belief. So what happens now, this is now earlier on, this is in the straight line, you're now in the closing part, that's your first pattern. Your next pattern, okay, is going to run to his beliefs. You start busting beliefs. making him play movies out in his head without him really knowing it. Not to manipulate. Again, I caution you, please. Ethics, 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 ethics. Only get people to buy who should be buying. Help them, motivate them to take action when they should. Please, use this to empower people to make good decisions. Don't manipulate them. But what's going to happen is you're going to run a pattern that's going to cause them to play out movies, and they're going to realize that their belief is crazy. They're not even you're going to create scenarios where the downside is played out and it's minimal. The upside's huge. They see themselves being loved and revered by all. And then what do? Do you ask them to no? You run the 3 10s again. 10, 10, 10. Boom. Ask for the order. 3 turns to the right. Now another combination. You get it? Now that might have been one belief you knocked out, but maybe it's another. So what do? Very simple. You'll loop back again. Okay, you're in a different pattern. You keep running different patterns and knocking out different beliefs and adding on different positives, knocking out more negatives. You don't know everyone's buying strategy. You can't be that smart. No one's that intuitive. We know basic stuff. I'll show you stuff about kinesthetic people, visual people, auditory. People process differently. I'll show you that, but don't fall back on that. You just to know it can cut your time a bit when you get good and elegant with this thing. But for right now, just say, I can't figure out what's going on in some guy's mind exactly. I just know I'm going to hit everything logically and close the guy. Now, when you're in this latter portions of the line, what are you focusing on? Guess what? It's based on the intelligence that you gathered here. All of a sudden, all those questions that you asked him in the perfect tonality, which made him know that you like him, that you care about him, that you're honest and ethical, all that stuff now is in your arsenal, and you start running patterns specifically geared to his strengths that you know he loves about your product, what he's looking to accomplish, and any weaknesses that might have been uncovered from that strategy, and you're gonna, from the intelligence gathering, you just start knocking that stuff very specifically. You start broad and get specific. Broad and get specific. As you go down the line, you're razor honed into this guy. You're in rapport. You have all the intelligence you know to close, and you're hitting out his negatives in a laser-guided fashion in the last portion of sale. And this way, either they're going to buy or they're not. But what you're going to know is that you closed everybody who is closable. With this strategy, everyone who's closable will close. Just don't close the ones that shouldn't buy. This strategy, this system, it literally will change the way you go about closing people. It will empower you to become a huge producer, whatever you sell. Anything. I've used this. I've trained all sorts of companies to sell things. It could be for sales that occur over 3 months. They require $1 million deals, investment banking deals that go on and on, big deals. Okay, all this sort of stuff, all is a straight line. It's the same thing. Use this technology in an honest, ethical way, and you will soar. You will fly. You will flourish because you have the keys.